Billy Fletcher makes shocking accusation after Caleb points the finger at Joe Tate in Emmerdale. Billy Fletcher has made a serious claim after Caleb Milligan suggested that Joe Tate could be responsible for the attack against him in upcoming Emmerdale scenes. Last week, the ITV soap ended on a dramatic cliffhanger when Billy was discovered unconscious and seemingly left for dead on the floor of the depot by an unknown attacker. He suffered a severe brain injury and was placed into a coma, but doctors managed to bring him around during today's 6th of August episode. Joe was brought in for police questioning, although officers eventually released him because they did not have enough evidence to charge him. In the latest scenes, Caleb noticed Joe questioning Billy's doctor about how much Billy could recall from the assault. Later, Caleb visited his employee and admitted that he had told Joe about Billy and Dawn nearly kissing in an effort to put him in his place after Joe threatened to reveal Caleb's suspicious activities at the depot. Although Billy and Dawn had only come close to sharing a kiss, Joe reacted angrily when Caleb mocked him and warned that Billy should watch his back. Caleb then confessed that he felt terrible about putting Billy at risk by provoking Joe, just as Dawn's fiancé arrived. Sensing the tension, Caleb walked away and left Joe alone with Billy. During a frank conversation, Billy admitted that he had kissed Dawn, while Joe explained that he was already aware of what had happened and claimed it did not concern him. "You're always going to have feelings for Dawn. I get that," Joe said, before explaining that he and Dawn had spoken about the kiss and considered it a pretty one-sided thing. Joe encouraged Billy to concentrate on his recovery, prompting Billy to respond, "You're a bigger man than me." Later, Billy asked Dawn to visit him privately and begged her not to tell Joe about their conversation. "Can I trust you?" Billy asked, as Dawn became increasingly concerned. Before she could get a doctor, Billy urged his former partner to hear him out. "It was him. Joe put me in here," Billy declared before telling Dawn, "I need you to wake up." Dr. Todd's killer revealed in Emmerdale, as shocking rape truth comes to light. Dr. Todd was originally brought into Emmerdale as the colleague who made Jacob Gallagher's life unbearable through her relentless bullying. However, her behaviour became even more sinister after she uncovered Charity Dingle's secret about her baby and used the information to blackmail her, putting Charity completely under her control. Their bitter conflict reached a horrifying point last month when Dr. Todd sexually assaulted Charity. Although Charity went to the police and reported what had happened, officers told her that they could not take the case further because there was insufficient evidence. Todd insisted that the encounter had been consensual. Since then, Charity has struggled badly and even drove into the woods in an attempt to escape everything she was facing. Thankfully, Serena Sugden found her and persuaded Charity to get help from her husband, Mac Boyd. Todd eventually left the village and kept a low profile for some time, but she returned to Emmerdale this week after unexpectedly encountering Manpreet Sharma. Todd had intended to take Manpreet home before quietly disappearing again, but her plans changed when Vanessa Woodfield confronted her over the way she had treated Charity. The confrontation clearly infuriated Todd, prompting her to extend her stay and pay Charity a visit. In the upcoming episodes, Charity summons the courage to face Todd and orders the doctor to leave her house. However, getting Todd out proves far from easy, as she refuses to be intimidated and deliberately provokes Charity by threatening to take legal action against her. Charity refuses to back down and boldly demands that Todd admit what she did to her. Instead of confessing, Todd threatens to reveal the truth about baby Layla's parentage to Sarah Sugden. As their explosive confrontation reaches boiling point, Charity calls Todd a rapist, completely unaware that another person has quietly entered the cottage and overheard the entire exchange. But who has heard their conversation, and could this unexpected witness ultimately play a role in bringing about Dr. Todd's downfall? Lewis left heartbroken in Emmerdale as Kev's hidden past threatens their bond. Kev is a hugely entertaining character, bringing the sort of sharp comic timing and delivery you would normally expect from a sitcom. while his dramatic side adds plenty of depth. Beneath the humour is a complicated and damaged man who is genuinely trying to turn his life around. His relationship with his former prison husband, Robert Sugden, was far from straightforward and occasionally brought out the more troubling aspects of Kev's personality. However, his developing bond with his son, Lewis Barton, has revealed a much warmer and more optimistic side of the former armed robber who is now working in a cafe. That doesn't mean their journey has been completely smooth. The new father and son pairing have already encountered several obstacles as they attempt to build a relationship, but those challenges have only made viewers more invested in them and helped Lewis become a firm favourite with fans. Speaking about the pair, Bradley Richards said, "Father and son duo. Let's do it. People are loving them together, and I feel like I love working with Chris, and I feel like there's going to be some mischief coming. There's going to be some iconic moments, which I am absolutely buzzing for." The actor also praised his on-screen connection with Kev and revealed how much the audience has enjoyed watching them together. The comments have been incredible. People loving our relationship and our scenes, its bit of light in dark and crucial storylines. We're the light, which is really nice. Bradley teased that there is plenty more humour ahead for the pair, although viewers should also prepare for some much heavier material. Everything is fun with Lewis and Kev, and there's so much more to come. But there's going to be some serious stuff as well. We'll see how Lewis and Kev navigate serious topics. He also admitted that filming the comedy scenes with Kev can be difficult because they often struggle to keep a straight face. "I love comedy, and Chris is a comedic genius. He takes comedy to another level and does little ad-libs which add to the scene. It may take a little longer to film because we get the giggles, but it's all worth it." However, the fun may soon disappear, as Bradley has hinted that Caleb and Ruby Milligan could be determined to pull Kev back towards his criminal past. Lewis would reportedly be devastated if Kev went back on his promise to change his ways. Lewis would be heartbroken. Kev saying, "I am a reformed character, I am changing for you." Lewis will be devastated. Bradley also acknowledged that secrets rarely remain hidden forever and suggested Lewis could potentially overlook some of Kev's questionable activities, provided nobody else gets hurt. As much as people think secrets will be a secret forever, they always come out. But if he needs to do this dodgy stuff, as long as it's not harming anyone else, Kev is quite experienced in dodgy deals, so Lewis might turn a blind eye. However, he admitted that Lewis is unlikely to simply accept his father returning to a life of crime because of his strong moral beliefs. "I doubt that would happen, as Lewis is very set on his morals. He would be upset because this is meant to be a fresh start." As for what viewers can expect next, Bradley teased plenty of emotional twists and conflict. There will be some highs and lows, some dramas, some fights. There's going to be a lot, he promised. He explained that Lewis will repeatedly try to move forward, only for new problems to send him back to where he started. Emmerdale airs on weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX and YouTube.